I think there's a lot of things. I mean, lately they've come out with some double stack options, which as a guide are huge. You can run that chubby Chernobyl profile, but have 2 slices of foam on there, which allows you to float some pretty big droppers. And so as guides, we're trying to catch as many fish for our clients as possible. And to have the option to run a big dropper underneath the golden stone that you're hoping they eat is huge. Some dry flies don't float them very well. The chubby, tried and true, always will float some droppers for you. And so you can cover both columns of the water and try to catch as many fish as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the wing for visibility for folks to see is huge.
Yeah.
If you see them eat it, then you got a real good chance that you're going to set the hook. So yeah, it's a popular one. The Circus Peanut is also a local one. Yellow bug. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, let's see that. Okay. Yeah.
Nice bright yellow bug. So super visible on the surface to see at distance. It doesn't have the wing, but you can see this thing. And what they see underneath is really just kind of the majority of that dubbing and a little bit of that foam. And they eat it well.
Flies like this come in handy on when you see a lot of pressure over a couple of weeks. If the golden stones are still around, sometimes they become wing shy. It's not too often, but it's nice to have some options that don't have that big fluffy wing. Fish will key into that and kind of turn off to that wing. So this is a great option for a little bit later in the stonefly hatch. If you realize fish are a little timid, maybe a couple of refusals, go to something without a wing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's double stacked foam well, so it could float that nymph as well. So the purple Bruce is also.
Let's see that one. So they're all similar, right? They've got the foam, they got the rubber legs. That looks a lot like the chubby, right? It's just different colors.
Very similar.
Exactly.
They throw some hackle on this one just to make it a little more buggy, but a very similar profile in the water for those fish.
Okay, and then you have the CFO Ann as well.
Yeah, that's one of my personal favorites. It's just a great all-around attractor stonefly pattern. I'm going to show it to you here.
Yeah, see if we can see that.
It's wingless. It's double stack of foam.
Yeah.
Pink belly. Pink is a good attractor color for bright sunny days. I like that one a lot. It skates really well. You can put some, like Cooper was saying, they will become a little shy on the stonefly pattern. So they'll come up and look, and you give it a good little twitch, and sometimes that really gets them.
So you'll dead drift it, but then you'll do a little bit of the twitching.
I'm a big fan of landing it on the bank and maybe tell your client or the angler to give it a huge mend. And that mend will also set their drift, but it also brings that bug just a couple inches to a foot off the bank. And sometimes that mending and that fly skating out when they mend it is enough to trigger it.
Right. So you're fishing these. Are you trying to really hit close to the bank? Is that a lot of?
Yeah, but some of these fish will stage middle of the day if there's a lot of bugs out. They will stage in some flats. And so it's kind of a random eat, but that's where that twitching comes into play. You can cast far across a flat, give it some wiggle, stall it for 2 seconds, and kind of keep fishing it almost like a streamer. And that helps you cover water on those flats where those fish might be considered random per se. But they're on those flats so they can see what's going on. They can track food without having to exert too much energy.
So they're coming from the deep into the shallower water, the flats, and they're able to. You don't have to move as far to get the bugs, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So later in the day, if there's a big stonefly hatch, you will find quite a few fish on some shallow flats, or maybe a tail out of a riffle, or just a big long flat, and that twitching helps kind of move that bug along and entice and eat where it may seem random if you just dead drift it.